afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with some extra cheese for you on Thursday after practice 2. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you know where your Green Bay Packers are? Oh, wait, they're right there in Lambeau Field where I am ensconced across the street. It is a beautiful day here in Green Bay. I hope you're all enjoying your Thursday wherever you are. I want to give a quick shout out to our good friends over at Ticket King before I go any further. Ticket King has been based in Wisconsin since 1992 and are staffed with experienced, friendly, and knowledgeable folks that can help you with anything Packers ticket related. They also partner with the local Green Bay businesses for tailgates and bus transportation to the games. They are open on game day for last-minute tickets, upgrades, and they even have a drive-through window. You can find tickets either at the link in the description of this video or use the Cheesehead TV app. Go to the section that says schedule. Click on any game, and you will find a link to said game on Ticket King. You want to do it, people. The other thing you want to do is check out the official 2022 yearbook of the Green Bay Packers at packersyearbook.com. That's right. You can order yours now. Use promo code CHTV. That's CHTV for 10% off your order at packersyearbook.com. Do it, people. You know you want to. Hello to everybody in the comments section. It's good to see you. I know you're all here because you're here for the Romeo Doubs Hype Train Express. Let's go, people. I mean, it is very exciting. He has looked good, but they're still in shorts. And, you know, the league is littered with dudes who looked great in shorts at the start of camp and then completely disappeared when the pads came on. Possibly, maybe reemerging somewhere down the line that season and or their career. But 2 days in shorts does not a career make. So I'm in on Romeo Doubs. Don't get me wrong. I'm ordering his jersey. I don't care. Love it. I think this kid's going to ball out. But it is still very early. So perhaps we should temper things a little bit. Who am I kidding? This is Cheesehead TV. It's what we do, people. The flip side of that coin is the secondary was a little feisty today, a little spicy. There were a number of plays where the defenders going for the ball, so to speak, but man, they were running through people. They were somewhat hitting people today. It was one of the more physical, unpadded practices I have ever seen at Nitschke Field. I was like, the one hit, fine, then a couple more hits, and then like at one point, Doubs caught a quick slant on the left side, and Savage just about blew him up. It was a bang, bang play. And Savage has a right to the football. He's going for the ball. It's not a malicious thing, but he was unafraid to throw himself in there. And it was a pretty significant blow. The secondary, I think, maybe a little feisty after the words from Aaron Rodgers yesterday where he was getting after Eric Stokes. But Rodgers in the offense definitely gave as good as they got when it comes to the red zone work and couple really nice completions from Rodgers to both Doubs and Tyler Davis in the red zone. Jordan Love hit Tyler Davis on a really sweet touchdown pass. So it was a good back and forth. It was a really fun day as far as, the ebbs and flows, guys rising and falling, etc. I'm incredibly anxious for the pads to come on so we can start really looking at the physicality up front. But in the meantime, good stuff cooking over there. Ray Nitschke Field. Hello to everybody in the comments. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see all the regulars in the house. So good to see. Krista's here. Hi, Krista. How are you? Deshaun Perry starts us off with a super chat. What's up? Why do people hate 12? Wow, that's a deep question to begin with right there. I don't know anyone who hates Aaron Rodgers other than Bears fans. But I think, possibly he's got some things personality-wise that rubs people the wrong way. And look, that's not crazy. I don't think that's nuts. I don't think that's, out of bounds, so to speak. But, I think most Packers fans absolutely love Aaron Rodgers. So to the haters, you just got to say later. That's all. Corey, Krenz, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for checking out the stream. Soder, what's up, man? Sounds like Stokes has been getting a lot of work so far. He absolutely has. Rasul Douglas has not gotten a ton of work because they've been running a lot of base stuff. I think obviously they're still in somewhat of an install period. So they're going through different things on the defensive side. And the main perimeter guys have been Stokes and Jair. And then when they go to nickel, that's when Rasul gets the work. But when they've been in base with the two backers, it's been all Devondre and Quay Walker with the ones. So, but that has meant that Rasul is off the field. So, for that, to that point, that means Stokes is out there full time and he is getting that work. Now, I will say he has. I tweeted it out today. The matchups I've gotten to watch between him and Dobbs have been downright fun. There were a number of times where I was just watching them, regardless of what was going on with the play, and you know, Stokes is right with him. And there were a number of times where he absolutely blanketed him, took away a deep route at one point. Certainly looking like the Stokes we saw late into the year last season, but Dobbs not shying away. Definitely got his. Definitely got one on that touchdown. The touchdown catch. Oh my goodness, people. The first one that he caught over Stokes was Randy Moss-esque. It was such a good play. Corner of the end zone. Rodgers put it where only Dobbs was going to be able to find it or get it or see it. Bit of almost like a back shoulder in the corner of the end zone. Stokes has his helmet turned, so Rodgers has always said, defender's got his back to me. That means my guy's open. And Dobbs just skied over Stokes and took the ball away. Touchdown. And held on all the way to, like, because he put his feet down and then he kind of got pushed and he fell out of bounds and held onto the ball. Would have been a clear touchdown. It was an incredible play. And then the very last thing they did in red zone, Rodgers kind of a sprint right option play. He was rolling to his right and he fired really quickly. He fired a laser right to the front pylon, and Devondre Campbell's right there in coverage on Dobbs, but Dobbs caught it and scored the TD. There were a couple really sweet plays in the red zone from the offense today, no doubt about it. What else we got? Dag, what's up? How you doing, man? Thanks for the super chat. I'm excited about the season. Defense looks amazing. Offense is getting there. Let's get it. Go Pack, go. It's a perfect summation. I love it. Dag, you are ready for the season. Let's go, baby. Let's do it. What else we got? I just have to say, I really love our head coach. What a guy. Matt, I'm with you, man. Like, it's hard not to like LaFleur, especially these last couple of days when he's been hopping on the bike after practice. I think Corey tweeted this out. Can you imagine Mike McCarthy on that bike, or Mike Sherman or even Holmgren? I mean, it's just great to see Matt get out there and hop on a bike and pedal on back to work. It's dope. William, how does Love look? He looks good. I thought he had another good day of practice. Now, again, the rush is minimal. There are certainly times when the rush would have gotten home against both he and Aaron, but I'm telling you what, he's throwing in rhythm. He's throwing a lot of really nice kind of quick pass stuff. He had a play, I talked about it yesterday, where he was rolling to his left, has to throw across his body, finds Danny Davis about 20 yards downfield for a big gain. And those are big time plays. And, he's clearly going to get probably a bunch of the work come preseason. I'm excited to see him continue to develop. He had one that ended I think it was the very last play of team red zone stuff. He found Goodson in the flat and just fired it in there. I mean, I kind of did a double take because had to make sure it was him and not Rodgers. And it was perfectly timed and placed right where the back could just grab and go and continue his motion upfield without having to stop in any way, shape, or form. It was perfectly placed, and he scores a touchdown because of it. I mean, Love's looking good, man. I don't know what else to tell you. Diego, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Justin Fields struggling in camp. Bears still suck. All right. They're implementing a new offense. He's a young quarterback. He's going to struggle. That's not a surprise. I saw somebody tweeted out how a ball intended for somebody, or it was the pickup from the Patriots, was knocked in the air and intercepted. And Packers fans were gloating about it. It's like, same thing happened on the practice field today for the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. That's how Amos got his pick. So, let's relax on that. Dustin, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for the super chat. How is Amari looking? Will Winfrey beat him out? I think Winfrey will get more opportunities just because they're very different types. And right now, Randall Cobb is entrenched in that F slot role. Randall has gotten all of the snaps with the ones, and Amari has been firmly with the twos. So if there were plays where they called for more of those types of receivers, where they have maybe multiple slots, then I think Amari would be on the field. But right now, it's a lot of Winfrey and Doubs and Lazard doing most of the perimeter work. And that's not to say that might not change over the course of the camp or even for the season. if only because we're still so early. They're still, like I said, doing some install, and this is nowhere near game planned or looked at in the sense of the breadth of your playbook. They're still focused on very specific things each and every day. So you can't read too much into it yet as far as who's running with what, because they are still moving guys around. And as we talked about yesterday with the offensive line, indeed, I said, wait a day, and it might change, and it did change today. Royce Newman was done at tackle and was put at guard, and they had Yash over there at right tackle, and they had Zach Tom at left tackle with the ones. So I think we're going to see a lot of this throughout camp. You're going to see guys moving around. But back to the original question, I think Amari is just kind of caught between, or not between, but behind Randall Cobb when there's a call for only one slot guy. That's just the way it's going to be while Cobb's in town, is my suspicion. Mark with the all caps. Will team be staying? I also love it when the all caps person talks like a caveman. Will team be staying at local hotel before games this season, or is that dead? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the official word on that is. I know Matt had talked about easing the reins on that a little bit. Not so sure about completely, removing the possibility and or practice, but I do know that conversation has been ongoing. We'll find out. Well, players will find out anyway. Any O-line standing out? Oz, it's too early. Yeah, I mean, I thought Zach Tom looked the part today. He did have a false start, funnily enough, when he was with the twos. But when he was with the ones, he was solid. He definitely held up, but it doesn't mean much when they're in shorts, right? I mean, like I said, he seemed to Simon Shore, seemed to hold off both Preston and Rashawn all right, but I mean, they're not really able to do much as far as physicality goes. I mean, Rashawn's whole thing is brute strength, right? And at the moment, you don't have your full arsenal to work with in that regard. So give it a week. We can talk O-line ups and downs and how they look probably much more next week once the pads come on. But right now, it's kind of a waste of time. Callum, is our big Bob Tunyon okay? He looks great. Can I just say, I know all offseason I was really skeptical about the reports that he would be out there week one, but I'm telling he looks great. Like, I was shocked. He and Kylan Hill are running like total champs and cutting and making moves. And I know this doesn't mean much. I'm a total pedestrian. I don't even play a doctor on TV. Like, I get it. But I'm kind of shocked at how good he looks, considering he suffered at week 8. Though they both suffered that injury the same game, week 8 of last year. So yeah, they look good. And Tunyon looks spry as hell. So here's hoping. But Doubs running with the ones, or shouldn't I pay attention to that? I think you can pay attention to how he performs, and if he's consistent, as he has been so far, it's only been 2 days, but if he's consistent, then that should earn him more opportunities with the ones. This is what happens when injuries strike, right? This is what coaches always talk about. The next man up mentality, the standard doesn't change. And if you don't meet the standard, well, then they're going to keep cycling through guys until they find someone who does hold up the standard. So far, Doubs is holding up the standard. And that is going to earn him more opportunities and more playing time, regardless of what happens when Christian Watson's back in the mix, Sammy Watkins is in the mix. Doubs isn't going to be sat down for those guys if he keeps this up. And I cannot stress that last part enough, especially when the pads come on. Winfrey has had a really strong camp the last 2 summers. If he continues to do that, I think he's definitely going to be in the mix. If Doubs can continue his play that we've seen the last 2 days, especially today, throughout camp, there's no way they keep him on the bench. He'll be in the mix. But we got a long way to go. Long way to go in that regard. What happened to the Rashawn Gary haters? Haven't seen them since 2020. Oh, shallow waters. They're still out there. There's still plenty of draft Nick fans who think they still shouldn't have used the 12th overall pick on the guy. I just ignore all that nonsense. But trust me, they infiltrate my Twitter feed every once in a while. They most certainly still exist. What's up, man? How about Jair? Does he look confident about his shoulder? Yes, he looks amazing. And it's funny. I was talking to somebody, I think it was Bill Huber, just about the fact that like you just never notice him because he's never thrown at, because his guy is always covered. But yeah, he seems full go. I mean, we'll probably get a little bit better feel once the pads come on and it gets a little more physical out there. But so far, he looks like Jair of old, man, in the best possible way. What else we got here? We got Packer Nation United. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. Do you buy into what the haters are saying? A lot of talk about the haters today. It's day 2 of camp, people. Let's be optimistic. Let's get it up here. Let's go. Do you buy into what the haters are saying about Coach LaFleur, saying that he won't be successful without 12? Go, Pack, go. I think that's a really easy position to take, right? I think it's no doubt the prevailing kind of thought around maybe not even just Green Bay, but around the league, and the idea of like, well, you've got Aaron Rodgers. You're winning a bunch of games. We're all really excited for you, but you do have Aaron Rodgers. And I think there's validity to that. But now to say that you know for certain that Matt is going to fall apart and come crashing down to earth once Aaron leaves, that's ridiculous. I mean, is it a big question mark? Yeah, of course it is. There's no doubt about it. And that's not telling tales out of school. That's not being a hater. That's just like the margin for error, the difficulty level skyrockets once Rodgers is out. That's everybody in the organization, not just Matt. But yeah, there's validity to that question, because it is a question. How will he and the staff, how will they fare without 4-time MVP, future Hall of Famer pulling the trigger at quarterback? You know? And I don't think Matt did himself any favors in that regard with his game plan against Kansas City last season with Jordan Love getting the start. That was his chance to kind of show that he could be a little bit more malleable, and certainly didn't seem that game plan was tailored to Jordan's strengths. So I do think, he's still a young guy, still a young coach, learning on the job, so to speak, has come and gone, and now he is fully in charge, and he's probably got Rodgers for 1 or 2 more years. I think by the time he has to prove it, he will have so much experience and wealth of knowledge that he didn't have, say, the first couple years with Rodgers. That I'm not saying the transition will be easy. Not saying he'll just simply turn the page and make it work. But I think he'll be ready for that challenge in a way he probably wouldn't have been 3 or 4 years ago. What else we got here, folks? What else we got? Most hated Minnesotan. What's up, man? Good to see you. Romeo Doubs came to play, Nags. So far, man. So far, he is in the mix, and he is making waves, and he is skying over people, and he is doing everything they ask him to do. You can't be anything but excited from what we've seen the first 2 days, but it is only the first 2 days. Got to remember that. Dustin, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Nags, Lebowski watch party during the bye week. Hopefully before then. Want to do it before then. Maybe Labor Day weekend. I don't know. What else we got? Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, man. Rodgers coaching up Rasul. Love to see it. I saw that after practice, or after, it wasn't post-practice, it was post-team stuff, and people were going to other drill stuff. I did see Rodgers and Rasul having that chat. And then I think Rasul also talked with Joe Barry afterwards. But yeah, I love all of that. Like last year, I think it was, Devontae out there with Stokes talking to him about releases and things like that. I love that. And it looked like Rodgers was talking about rotations and what he's looking at and how he's, using maybe his eyes or what have you. But yeah, you love to see it, man. That's leadership. How's Torre looking? Haven't heard a word about him. Hasn't been given a ton of opportunities. And when he has, haven't really noticed the ball going to him much. I will say, speaking of like basically the third team, Danny Etling has a much liver arm than I would have expected. Like that, he can zip it. Like I was shocked. Much better than I would have expected, just as far as the ball he's throwing. But yeah, Torre, I haven't seen much. Just with the threes. That's about it. What else we got? The legendary head coach who challenged 2 plays in the first 2 minutes of a game. Gotta love Joe. I mean, those were epic challenges, though. Not even just wait. What's funny is not even just the first 2 minutes of the game. First drive of the game. Amazing game. Hey, they still won though. There's a man behind you. Yes, that is the man who cuts Corey's grass. Is Kenny Clark the D's ace in the hole? I mean, he's one of their best players. So, sure. I mean, the offense has to account for him on every single play, no matter what they're trying to do offensively, whether it's running the ball or throwing it. One of the very first things they got to ID is where the hell is Kenny Clark? So, yeah, in that regard, definitely. Jackfire, how are you, man? Thanks for checking it out on Twitch. I miss Kurt Benkert and Green and Gold. I hear you, man. I hear you. I just, yeah, it's not that it doesn't sit right with me, but it did surprise me when they let him go, simply because, as I talked about yesterday, he was a real gamer where his practices were probably a bit more uneven than you'd like. But God, when he got out on the field in those preseason games, talk about total command, making plays, real gamer. And yeah, it did surprise me that they let him go. And I guess it's funny too, because I did wonder like if they would bring in a fourth arm just for camp, just to have an extra quarterback throwing it around. But man, those practices are so short and they go so quickly. It's not like back in the day. You're not throwing 1,000 routes. What's up, Cheeto218? What a handle. Thanks for the super chat. How's my Iowa Hawkeye Tyler Goodson doing? He made a handful of plays yesterday, and then with the threes, and then I saw he had a nice catch today. It's not getting a lot of run with the ones yet, but you never know when your number might get called. But looks solid. I'll give him that. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Kenny got told to turn in his iPad in 2018, and he was getting cut. Yeah, obviously probably someone way down the chain, mistook Kenny Clark for whoever was really getting cut, and told Kenny to take his iPad and go talk to coach. Rogers told that story, and I know that was framed especially by Pro Football Talk, who never misses a opportunity to gin up some drama. But I know that was framed in the sense of how Aaron Rodgers had talked about, the need for a breaking down of the wall between personnel and the players. And I understand. I've talked to a number of former Packers who were never real big fans of how the Packers communicated either during their tenure or upon their release or cut or what have you. So I know that's a true sentiment from the players. My thing has always been they've been incredibly successful operating that way for decades. And I understand Aaron would prefer it be done a different way. And it sure sounds like Mark on down, including Brian, have acquiesced to that. But I'm not entirely sure it's necessary. And I'm not entirely sure it's the best. And I'm not entirely positive that they're going to continue to operate like that once Aaron is gone. You know, I mean, I get it. Aaron's all peace and love and he's got the tattoo and we're all just kumbaya living in his world. I get it. I totally understand. But, that's not the only way to operate. The Packers have operated the way they have been when it comes to personnel and their relationship with the players for decades and won a boatload of games. And I'd also just point out what Randall Cobb said when he returned last year, when he said it felt like he was getting out of jail. Aaron Rodgers has never been with another organization in the NFL. Randall Cobb's now been with 3. And when he returned to Green Bay, he said it felt like he was being released from prison. Never forget that. Timbo Slice, what's going on? Thanks for the super chat. Please no practice squad or PS, or is that BS? Injuries. Bucks might got a bad one today. Yeah, I know their center went down. That's football, baby. It's the worst. I mean, you don't have to go too far back here in Green Bay to remember when Brian Bulaga went down on family night. It sucks, but it's the game. It's part of the gig. Now, obviously, you don't ever, 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 ever want to deal with it, but you're going to have to at some point. You just want to hope you got, the talent on hand to mitigate it and be able to navigate those waters. And Packers have shown several times that they're able to do so. So you definitely want to get out of camp as injury-free as possible, but it's never going to be 0. Yeah, I'm taking care of the bots here. Sorry, guys. Micah, we know you had a good season, but we don't even want to talk to you about an extension. The Micah Hyde thing, you got to remember, though, and that always bugged me. If anyone who's watched this channel for any amount of time knows, that's the one that really upset me. That never made sense to me. However, you do have to remember Rob Demovsky's report when he said that call was made by Russ Ball and not Ted Thompson. Because at that point, Ted's health was declining and things were a little different inside 1265 Lombardi. Now, I'll always hate that call. It's always going to blow my mind that this guy was the poster child for draft and develop, and they let him go without even so much as a phone call. I think Jack Beckda's probably still bitching about that. But you can't really hold that up as a paradigm of how they would usually operate because things were very unusual at that point in the process. Jackfire, what's up, man? Speaking of, you're 18 for 12 and you're 12 for 18. I saw that. I'm sensing some special moments from these two this season. Cobb had an outstanding touchdown catch today where it was one of those just know exactly how to run the depth of the route, in relation to what the defense was doing. And Rodgers totally felt him and threw it way before it was coming out of his break into the end zone, touchdown. Had another one. He had a nice, a bit of an angle. Maybe it was a choice route. Yeah, Cobb and Rodgers are in lockstep. No doubt about that. Sniping them bots like they are Justin Fields or Jay Cutler. There you go. Automatic, what's up, man? Hey, Nags, hope you're enjoying your time in Green Bay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So far, so good. Having a ball. I'm doing fish fry with my parents tomorrow night. I cannot tell you how excited I am. Come on now. Come on. Can a team be leaned upon heavy, especially early on this season? Matt, you got to think there will be maybe not a lot more Randall Cobb than last year, but certainly a significant uptick in his both usage and production. No doubt about it. And man, I've been talking about it. I think I got 2 separate videos about it on the channel here from this offseason. When they did utilize him last year, when they made him part of the game plan, he produced. So here's hoping we get a lot more of that this year. All right, buddy, I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, both in the morning and in the afternoon. That's what we do around here at Cheesehead TV. I will be doing one chat tomorrow. There's no public practice, but there is a practice being held that the media is allowed to attend. So I'll be at that practice, and then I will do a chat after that. So stick around for that. I'll tell you all about it. Thank you so much. Please, please, please hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack Go.